All right, down here with the players. First of all, of course, thank you guys for playing. Thanks for battling. Always appreciate it. And how cute you guys matched shoes.
He told me. He told me about it.
We're on the same page.
All right, so first question for Chris. He just filled us in on a little bit of information. I guess you've had some bad beats on match point matches this year.
Yeah.
How much, honestly, like how much was that going through your head as you got deeper and deeper into the second set?
At every single time Mark would yell, I just was reminded of it.
Yeah.
No, I kept it out of my head, but I should have done more to like, yeah, I was going through my head a good amount, but I tried to block it out.
Any like tactic or like what's your personal way of like trying to block it out?
Well, so here, it's actually talking to myself like a crazy person in the mic, so can pick that up. But I think I went silent for like 3 games in the second set. And I think that, Mark got a lot of momentum. And not only was there the break point, then there was, so that was a match point. Then there was my serve trying to hold it out at 5-3. I had we went that long game.
I think you had 4 match points on. I think you had 4. I talked to the camera, but they'll.
Yeah, so I think I had 3, but maybe I had 4. But anyways, yeah, so just try to block it out the best I could, and you just got to focus on the next point every time. I mean, and that comes with playing a lot of competitive tennis. Like, you're in situations like this a lot. If you play a lot of tough matches, and you just have to push through it and know that you are going to lose those matches where you're up match point, and it happens, and it sucks, but just move past it.
Hear that, kids? Yay, tennis. All right, question for Mark.
Oh, great.
Eric and I were trying to get a handle on like what your strategy was exactly, especially I want to say towards the end of the first set and the first part of the second set. But it felt to us like you were kind of trying all kinds of different stuff, and it didn't feel like you had any solid game plan.
There were 2.5 game plans.
Sorry, did you just say 2.5?
One is like kind of a half shift back to the first one. So let me explain.
Okay, all right.
So the first one is to return, and this one is not as obvious in the first set, was to return and volley his second serve. He missed 3 first serves in the first set, 3 or 4. Some crazy stat like that. So you guys didn't see it. Second of all, throughout the entire match, I tried to roll it short cross court to the deuce side because he's a lefty. That kind of worked. And then the third one, which is kind of a shift back to the first one, was just to crash net at any time that I can, just because I was feeling very uncomfortable. My volleys felt decently okay, which is a lot better than what my ground strokes normally are on a relative scale. So I just tried to crash net as much as possible, and I found some success, but I just was completely uncomfortable the entire match, and that was, credit to you, just like getting me out of rhythm. I'm like, okay, backhand slices all day.
I mean, it just looked like it at the baseline.
Yeah, and you did a good job exposing it because I couldn't rip through it, and I couldn't get around it to hit a good forehand to where I got you on the offensive going inside in or inside out at a sharp angle. So you just did a really good job just not letting me bully you, and you're the one pressing against me up and against the wall, against the corner. So you just did a good job.
It felt to me like in the first game of the match.
That was good.
It was a long time ago now.
Yep.
But it felt to me like, oh, Mark's going to hit through him. And it felt like you took your foot off the gas a little bit. Is that accurate or no?
I did, and that had nothing to do with the
camera?
wardrobe malfunction on the far side of the corner.
Oops.
I think Chris started to hit deeper balls and heavier balls, and keep in mind that was on my serve.
Yeah.
So I could dictate the first ball, maybe the first ball and the third ball.
Even on your serve after that, though, it felt like you were...
I was afraid of double faulting. I double faulted, I think, 3 or 4 times, and I just couldn't find it. I found some success on the ad side on your forehand.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, and maybe some sliders on the deuce side, but that was mainly in the first game of my service game, I just couldn't do anything. Or I didn't feel like my serve was effective after the first game.
So what I want to know is, you mounted a furious comeback in the second set. At what point did you think, oh, I can actually make this happen? Or do you feel that you always had that belief regardless of how many match points Chris had?
Always had that self-belief, always. Whether it's delusional, which it is to an extent, I always think in my head, no matter what the score is, I'm going to win. If I'm down 0-6, 0-5, I don't care, I'm going to win. But obviously it didn't happen today.
Mark is absolutely that kind of player. You'll hear me in the camera at 05 in the confessional going, he can come back. Like, he can definitely come back. I need to close this.
Yeah, you're a handshake player. It's not over until you do that.
There was a physical slump of me like not screaming at myself, but I think that was down 0-4. not 0-5. After 0-5, I'm like, I got nothing to lose. Might as well swing it out and make this competitive.
Your body language just shifted.
Yeah.
Like when I was up like 0-3 to maybe to 0-5, I was looking over there going, he's looking defeated. And then
Part of that is the physical just tiredness. And then I caught second wind, both physically and mentally. And that's when I started picking things up.
And then, Chris, I got one for you. So when you got up 40 love on that last game with the triple match point, did you feel like you were just gonna do the same strategy? Because it looked like you were just kind of baiting Mark to miss on that match point ball, or did you feel 40 love, maybe I swing to some open court on this one? What was going through your head?
So I was trying to find a way to the net, and Mark gave me that. I did not want another match point battle from the baseline where I'm hitting rollers and Mark can sit there all day, texting in one hand and getting the ball back in the other. I wanted to make him try to lob me because today you weren't finding your lobs.
No.
And normally
It was mainly long.
Normally
Yes.
when we play, you'll do this like reaching 360 lob over your head on the baseline. So, and like every time. So it was just very uncharacteristic. So I knew I had to get to the net and just catch you with a quick one because you weren't gonna make an error. Or I didn't think you were gonna make an error.
Yeah.
I got lucky you were hitting out on the first few and missed a couple, and I just tried to capitalize at the net, so.
Gotcha.
Chris, in hindsight, which is always easier, of course, is there anything that you think you could have done better up 5-0 to close it right there?
I was probably hitting a little too, I needed to hit a little flatter. I was trying to like loop stuff and then add a little pace and it was going out. I either need to flatten out, right?
That's not what I saw. But
Wasn't I
continue.
hitting deep?
But continue.
Okay.
Mark thinks you won the match.
No, I'm saying his analysis is objectively wrong.
I mean, I was missing like shots that I felt like were rally balls to the corners, but I'm trying to get better in a match situation at driving the ball through the court. That's what you saw me working on yesterday. I'm trying to drive the ball through the court more, but I get in these matches and I like that like loopy ball right to the corner. And maybe I should come in on more, but I'm going off on a tangent here, so I'll shut up now.
There was a
So drive through the court. You wish you would have been a little more
but
assertive.
I think the strategy in general was fairly close to what I wanted. You know what it would be? It would be try to come in a little more.
Okay.
When I'm hitting to the corners, I need to follow it in. And I've worked on that with a number of people. I need to follow the ball in.
There was a string of, I think, 4 or 5 points in the middle of the second set where you hit the bottom of the tape or the net. That's why I was shaking my head when you said you were hitting it long. But that's that sample size that I'm
He did have some short forehands, but that could have been he's kind of going for the loop and swinging a little early on it. But
also, you had success bringing me in a lot. I was like not getting low, getting my feet under me. I was slicing into the middle of the net. So
it seemed early in the match there was a lot of trying to play cat and mouse, bringing the other one into the net against their will.
Yeah. All right, Mark, tell me about chip and charge on the second serve. I don't think I've seen you pull that out of the toolkit before.
I kind of did that with Joey to an extent.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing for Chris to work on is the second serve in terms of depth, because your lefty spin is fine, but the depth is just short. So that's why I was going to just expose it and take advantage of it.
Did you really not feel like you could have had the upper hand on the baseline?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
did you think about serve and volleying early in the match? Because I thought you were going to come out serve and volley like,
I was.
or chip and charge off my return.
I was, but I think there were 2 examples where you passed me on your second or your third backhand, like down the line. Like, okay, I can't do that. So I didn't want to serve and volley, or I didn't even want to do a serve +1. I wanted to grind it out until you made a grievous mistake for me to come in.
Okay.
So it did cross my mind, but I just didn't want to execute it past those 2 or 3 examples.
Been working on that backhand a lot.
We saw a couple of those up the line backhand passing shots.
Right when I needed it the
into
most.
Yep.
Right when I needed it the most, yeah.
All right, so Chris, you've kind of been down a lot of the gauntlet now, and you haven't lost. So who do you want to play next?
Well, full disclosure, I did lose to Adam.
That's true. That was a while.
About a year ago.
When was that? A year ago? Okay.
Yeah, about a year ago.
Was that your first match on the channel?
Second. I played Brian Schofield.
Oh, I forgot about that
A
one.
long time ago.
Wow, yeah.
Tall guy. Lost to Adam pretty handily. So, you know, why don't you guys let me know in the comments who you want me to play next? Just Adam comes to mind.
Joey.
Joey is obviously that. Really, it'll be a step up. The first time he played me, he killed me. The second time, I think I caught him on an off day and got a set. But no, let me know who you want me to play. I'm trying to think of anyone else that's been on the channel. So let me know. We'll run it.
Can we talk about that? His call or lack thereof?
What about it? It was definitely wide.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It was
for sure.
closer to
There's
the
not
middle
much
of,
of
the
a story. He called it in and it was out.
Yeah. I
Well
was about
out.
to walk back and give you the point, and then you gave it to me, and I'm like, I'm taking it.
So then in return, I should have called the serve out at 5-0.
No.
Let out a yell
No.
and come up to
See,
shake.
here's the thing. Let me know what you think in the comments. Whose job is it to call it out?
It's mine. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't
It's
hook you
mine.
or anything.
No.
Yeah. Some people said with the Scott thing, it was a similar thing.
Let
that
me
I
know in the
should have given
comments the
point.
subjective tennis rule.
No, it's subjective. It's not subjective.
Who should call it out?
Yeah.
I think you and I both have a habit in like just a friendly, completely friendly match of normally like we see it and we're like, yeah, you played that.
No, that was definitely. I would never call that in for you ever.
No, I know that. I mean like you'll overrule me or I'll overrule you, but this is one of those matches where that really doesn't. I mean, we're
Oh
both
yeah, because
playing
there's cameras.
yeah, there's cameras. So it's a different environment.
Mark,
At
you're
least I'm honest.
you're a good lines caller. You're
Yeah, and there were. It was. I felt like it was a very fair match in general. There was one ball that was like an inch long. I thought that I called back there, so they'll run that back and hopefully.
Was that on your forehand?
It was to go up 40-30. It was a big 30 all
I remember
point.
that. Yep.
So hopefully I didn't pull a Scott on that one.
We didn't see
I love you,
anything.
Scott.
Scott.
We didn't see
I
anything
had to
from
say
up
it.
top that looked like ooh, that could have been. If anything, it was like,
No.
It was
dude, that
back
was
there.
out. Call it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Did I make any of those calls? Where I
You
gave
gave
it to
me
him?
a serve.
Was
You
that
gave
serve?
me a long serve one time.
I don't remember that. The only one that was close, but we thought it landed, and it was very unfortunate. You reversed your call to
Yeah,
get
that-
broke, but we
was it.
thought that caught.
That was in. I thought it was gonna float out.
It was just a
but
very
dipped in.
unfortunate way to have your first break in
That
the
was
match.
a
It's
weird break.
yeah, just
Yeah.
like you got broke because of good sportsmanship, I guess.
No, it's my fault for assuming it was gonna go out before it bounced. That's 100% me.
No such thing as a forced error.
It isn't. It's an unfortunate.
So
no,
we're not getting into this right
it's
now.
It's a winner technically.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even remember what shot you're talking about.
He broke me, and then I was gonna call a ball out, 30-40,
Yeah.
and I overruled myself.
Yeah, it was the
I
first
felt like
break
it
of
was
the
over
match.
here. Yeah.
That's
You
a-
didn't like stop it. You
Yeah,
didn't
it was
stop
it was
or-
right there.
Was it
No, I
Did you
called
wreck
it out, and I'm like, oh wait, it was in, and I
Oh,
gave
so
it
you
to him.
touch it, so it's not a winner.
No, but
But he said it, so you kind of, it's
Yeah.
a hindrance. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Chris hits winners on Mark.
that was a winner.
All right. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
I'm gonna drink Jack Daniels tonight.
All right, Chris.
Oh,
final
boy.
thoughts.
No, that was a lot of fun. That just like the what is it? The anticipation of that match was, stressing me out. So I'm glad to be through it, and I knew Mark was going to come out swinging.
What would you have done if you lost the second set and then eventually lost the match?
Oh, at 4-5, I thought I was losing the second set and the match.
Wow.
Oh, we talked about this. So if you guys went the full third, would you said full third or 10?
If we had time, I would say full third.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what we thought.
That's what we figured.
Obviously, Mark
Well,
would
he would
have
have
the
the
edge.
he would have the fitness advantage though. But I still want a full
You
third.
coming off the second set comeback, I feel like you'd have a strategy
Yeah,
that
but-
was playing well against me.
I'm also thick right now, not in a good way.
You looked like you were fit at the end. You weren't.
Oh, that's second and third wind.
All right.
And caffeine.
Love the caffeine.
Good playing, guys. Thanks to Diadem. Thanks to Go Sports. Thanks to channel members. Appreciate all of you guys, and thanks to the players.
Thank you for
Eric,
having
maybe
us
we'll
on.
get you back on again soon. Thank you for doing commentary.
Yeah, no
Had a good
problem.
time.
No, this is a lot of fun. I'd do it again.
Sweet.
Let me see you in a match.
Oh.
Catch you guys next time.
Thanks for watching.
Good win. I was not a bad sport though.
No,
like,
no,
okay.
No. I need a beer now.